Would you have preferred, and maybe not, maybe you like it, the way it's kind of laid out here, but it's very rare. Like obviously the UFC has plans, right? They know that this guy, if he gets by that guy, is going to fight that guy for the top dogs, right? But it's very rare that they actually tell us who's next before the upcoming fight, right? Like it's very rare that they double book someone like this. How do you feel about like it's one thing for him to accept these fights, but it's another for the promotion to do it as well. How do you feel about them doing it and making it public?
Hey, I just get a chance to spoil their plans. You know what I mean? I'm going to take all his thunder and I'm going to run with it. So whatever happens on the 19th, people are going to know my name a lot better from now on. I'm going to inflict pain because even if I want to walk out of that cage and somehow, let's say I, lose a controversial decision or something, I promise you one thing. Khamzat is not going to be physically able to fight come October. As soon as he steps out of that cage, he's going to need at least 6 months to recover from what I'm going to do to him.
Okay. So he has looked, I mean, virtually unbeatable thus far in the UFC. The two fights, people aren't even landing a single punch on him. Do you see holes in his game from what you've seen?
I mean, it's hard to see holes in someone's game when they get such easy fights. You know what I mean? He fought a guy that came up from lightweight to fight him at welterweight. So he fought an undersized welterweight, really. And then he fought a guy who was a middleweight who, from what I heard, had a rough weight cut, didn't look like he had a ton of energy. And if we're being honest, he's dangerous if you decide to stand and slug with him. So now he's got to fight somebody. Not only can I strike, but I'm very, very good in the grappling department. And even though he's forced himself into a spot where he thinks if he's on top, he's winning, he might not necessarily be winning. And guess what? If he's one of those tough guys that talks about, oh, I tap, that's fine. I'll snap your arm off or I'll put you to sleep. I've put 2 people to sleep in the UFC already, so it's nothing new to me.
And last one for me for Gerald. I know yesterday you spoke about this getting on the media day, but I wanted to just clarify. You said there was a bit of a run-in with Khamzat at the host hotel earlier this week. Can you just explain what happened?
Yeah, I couldn't really understand because we're all wearing masks. And he said something about I like talking. I just said, yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to him, and he walked away. He said, apparently one of my buddies heard him say something about he was going to smash my face. But again, trying to talk trash to somebody while you're wearing masks and walking in a different direction.
Because I say that, I'm going to smash your face. How are you going to stop that?
I'm sure you think...
How are you going to stop that, yo?
I'm probably going to beat you up is what's going to happen.
You look at my fight, you look at my last fight, no punches, like how many punches he did to his face.
Dude, I can
understand. You had a little bit bigger, but...
I can't understand what you're saying. Speak clearly or something, all right? First of all, the whole black belt stuff, a black belt doesn't really matter. It matters what you do. And I'm
talking about the pure BJJ, like you like special BJJ guy.
Yeah, because I'm tired of the most submissions.
If somebody choke you out, like you have to go train harder. Not talk about like I'm jiu-jitsu, I'm better than him. What the fuck is that, man?
I had tied for the most submissions in the middleweight division. That's what that is. So yeah, I think I deserve a black belt.
We will see who you are.
Hopefully I can finish him before that.
With the double leg and then ground and pound?
Exactly. Hey, man, I have outside 1 hour, 2 hour fights. It doesn't matter, brother.
Okay, and what was your reaction when you got the name Khamzat Chimaev as your next opponent? Obviously, I'm assuming you have now heard of him, right?
Oh, yeah, I saw his fights. I had heard of him, and as soon as they told me, I was like, yes, most definitely yes.
Why most definitely yes? I would imagine there are a lot of people who might not say that right now after seeing his first 2 UFC fights.
Because I'm tied for the most submissions in the middleweight division in the UFC. Ariel, I am the kryptonite to his Superman, all right? Everything he does well, I can turn that into a bad situation for him, and I'm going to show everyone that on September 19th.
Given that, and given your record, and given how good you are on the ground, are you surprised that they are booking you against him?
Not really, because I get overlooked a lot, and not to be like oh, everyone's against me type of guy or anything, but if I'm being honest with myself, and I'm sure everyone's going to look at my record, I'm just above 500 in the UFC. I've beaten some all right guys, and then every time I try to make that next step up, I seem to have a little hiccup, and I'm trying to correct that right now. So they're probably figuring, okay, we'll give him a quick turnaround. He's got a lot of energy behind his name. This guy will be a decent test, but he should be okay, and then we're going to try and force him onto some bigger name after this.
Yeah, so it's very interesting because if you were just looking at this fight in a vacuum, given his first two opponents and now given you and where you're at, it kind of makes sense. Like there's a natural progression there, right? I feel like they're kind of moving him along the right way. But then you find out about the Damian Maia fight, which I'm told isn't signed just yet, but it's something that they want for October. And Dana White, when he told this to the media late last week on Friday, I believe, he mentioned the Maia fight and said that they had another fight before. Like he didn't even mention your name. He mentioned the Maia fight, but didn't mention your name. What is your reaction when you find out that not only are they booking him against you, but they also have his next fight booked against a legend like Damian Maia?
Look, Ariel, plain and simple, it's disrespect, right? He's got to get through me. Like I said, I have tied for the record most submissions in the middleweight division. I'm a dangerous fighter. I'm a game fighter. And look, I get it. He's undefeated. He's young. He fights just like Khabib, who's on a hot streak right now, got a lot of big following. And I'm pretty sure he took the two closest fights back to back, you know, probably in UFC history. A lot of steam coming in behind his name. But you know what? You know, if you want to root for, and this is the thing, I'm not undefeated, right? Like I said, I'm not going to be the blue chip prospect. But you know what I can do? I can be the miracle on ice. I can be Cinderella Man. If you want to watch somebody that's, you know, scratched and clawed their way to get where they're at, then watch me. I got the blood, sweat, and you know, under my fingernails just from trying to fight my way back in it. And let me tell you something, Ariel. All these young kids coming up that think they can get by with 8 perfect wins like that, it's not going to happen. Look, he has never met resistance in any of his UFC fights. Every time he goes out there, he just runs right through people. What's going to happen when Khamzat runs into somebody that doesn't do exactly what he wants? What's going to happen when he tries to play out his game plan and what he wants to do turns into a nightmare? And that's what we're going to find out.
I love this, Gerald. I love the fact.
Stockholm's Khamzat Chimaev, 20.
Gerald GM3 Meerschaert. Khamzat Boris Chimaev.
Just like that! And I know, Paul, you're mixed with emotions as your teammate goes down, but
than that. Bam! One and done.
And a nice show of respect is
down the middle. On the button.
To cuss right now as you see the reaction in the corner.
Khamzat Boris Chimaev.